Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Andesite Blue webinar. I'm Benjamin Z. Miller, and I'm here to tell you about Andesite Blue's emerging market bonds. This is an important investment, and I need to read you a short disclaimer because it is only available for qualified investors. And when we send you the information packet, you will have the long form version of this. But in the meantime, this is an investment that is for accredited investors. And as accredited investors, you will be aware that all investments carry some level of risk. This investment's only for investors who are able to assess their own appetite for risk. Please read the risk statement within the investment memorandum before investing. Okay, so this is such an important project. Much of the country of Ukraine has been destroyed. We have all seen it in the newspapers, and we're all aware of what is going on in the country. The United Nations, the other governments, the European Union, they are all going to be paying to help rebuild Ukraine. And some estimates put the cost of rebuilding at as high as $750 billion to as much as potentially $1 trillion. But there is also a massive opportunity for investors because not all of the money is going to be coming from governments. And this is going to be an opportunity, a good opportunity for private investment that for many years can pay a very high rate of return.
Be involved with a company like that.
Why not?
About the Ukraine.
It's a real honor for Ukraine Invest to sponsor Ukraine House Davos this year, and because there were a number of key things that came away from that engagement. There's three basic reasons that were stipulated. We had Sir Suma Chakrabarty, president of the EBRD, basically said that because of the government's reforms, Ukraine is open for business. I think that was a very key message for everybody to hear. The second message that we got was from business itself, major companies that basically said, look, Ukraine, because of the reforms that the government has undertaken, is now a stable, predictable, emerging market. We can wrap heads around the risk-reward ratio and we can make money. And the third takeaway was that was given to us by Horizon Capital. It had just set up a $200 million private equity fund for investment into Ukrainian small cap companies, saying that Ukraine has highly valued assets that are underpriced, and that this was another fantastic opportunity that to catch Ukraine on the way up as the economy continues to grow.
When this war ends, there is going to be a gold rush, and investors will benefit the same as during the rebuilding after World War II in Europe. So we have here a video that shows the city Bucha. Bucha is a city that's located very close to Kiev, Ukraine, and it actually is where some of the war crimes occurred. Even though these villages near Kiev were destroyed by the Russians in a devastating way, the Ukrainians have already started rebuilding. Companies are coming in from outside of Ukraine that are helping with the rebuilding. Movie stars, rock stars, sports stars, they are donating money to rebuild Bucha and Irpin. And they already, large sections have already been rebuilt. So there's a lot going on in that area, and there's just such a huge need for reconstruction because this is something that for many years into the future, the need is going to exist. And it's an opportunity for private investment because, again, government can't do all of this. There are some areas where government does things really well. They'll be very involved in a lot of the reconstruction, but you as a private investor can benefit when you purchase one of our corporate income bonds from Andesite Blue. We invest into a variety of industries and projects, including reconstruction. We very much want to help with the reconstruction. So we are going to also be investing into surgical and healthcare. This is something where a lot of the healthcare, that's an industry that we want to invest in, particularly dental, surgical, these sorts of things. And it is one industry that we will be concentrating on in addition to reconstruction of residential housing. There also are some really great things that the government of Ukraine has actually implemented, and that is a foreign investment protection. So the way that this works is if an investor invests into a project that meets the size requirements, where it's a larger sized project, they can benefit from this foreign investment protection. These protections include guarantees on the transfer of profits and the use of income from foreign investment. The guarantee is good for 10 years. It guarantees that the project is not subject to nationalization. And it also is something where with this guarantee, by investing with Andesite Blue, you can also benefit from this because we are focusing on projects where this guarantee will apply. So that is something that's a big advantage compared to investing alone. With the real estate industry, the reconstruction, it's massive, the need, and it is something that we are going to be over time doing some different projects. We have some already scheduled in the pipeline, and I'm going to go ahead and show those. Agriculture, we have a very great need in agriculture, and it's something that we're also going to be able to invest into qualifying projects in agriculture, and I'll show some examples here. So here is a project. This is a project that's an existing project that was done by the government of Bucha. And this particular development, it is complete and already operational. It's a project that Andesite Blue, we're going to do something like this with Ukraine NUA. Ukraine NUA is a company that's also going to be helping with the reconstruction. They are a fantastic company. Ukraine NUA is founded in the Republic of Ireland, but it's domiciled in Kiev. And it is actually a Ukrainian development company. One of the projects that Ukraine NUA is working on is based on this ambulatory center that you see here in this picture, and it's already operational. This already exists in Bucha. So we showed you a video earlier of Bucha, how it had been so damaged and how it has been reconstructed so much. Ukraine NUA will take this a step further. They're going to actually go a step further, and they're going to, in the project they will be doing with Andesite Blue, there's going to be also on the ground floor, you see the ground floor here, there's going to be ambulatory. There's also going to be an area for doctors, for surgery, for dental, a laboratory, and also fitness. And then the higher floors, there's going to be not one level, but there's going to be a total of 4 levels. And those are going to be made into apartments, homes for returning refugees. So that is something that is a great project to be able to help with that. Another thing that is an exciting project that we are working on is modular communities. This is actually something that is so needed because a lot of the refugees that may be coming back to Ukraine, they may not have a home, they need a home. And what is the fastest way to build a home? Well, one of the absolute fastest ways that's that you can achieve the same result in about 60% of the time compared to traditional build methods is modular communities. So Ukraine NUA will also be working on this to build modular communities, and this will be single family homes, or it could be duplexes, or as you call them in the United Kingdom, semi-detached. These will be separate houses in a community, and they're going to be built at 15 houses per phase. And once the 15 houses are complete, there'll be another, and just keep, as the returning refugees are coming in, more and more houses are going to be built. It is such a worthwhile project. It is really something that's an important project that absolutely is critical. And what we have here is biofuel. There's a lot of corn that right now is going to waste because it can't be easily shipped out. Well, with this biofuel, it is something where that will be put to good use, where it is actually made into fuel. So it actually will be processed into fuel. These installations, they cost an average of 10 million pounds per installation, but the installation has a fantastic return on investment. The internal rate of return is as high as 260% on these, and they have just a tremendous return on the investment. So it's one where there's a big opportunity there with agriculture. Another thing that also is so well done by the government of Ukraine is they have a lot of projects that have already passed a lot of the requirements to be seen as viable projects. For example, this project is a brick factory. It has an investment cost of $118 million, and it has a payback period of 6.9 years. And it is one of many projects. You know, in reconstruction, bricks are so critical. Bricks are just important for being able to rebuild, and a brick factory is something that really has a lot of opportunity. Now I'm going to show here an illustration of returns. This gives you an idea of, when you purchase one of our Andesite Blue Bonds, how much money you can earn. So we offer two different versions, a 3-year bond, and we offer a 5-year bond. Let's say that you placed 100,000 pounds in a 3-year bond, and say that you wanted to receive quarterly payments. We have an annual rate of 7.15%. So over the course of that 3 years, you would receive 21,450 pounds in interest, and then 100,000 pounds at the maturity of your bond. Or if you are looking for an even higher rate of return, we offer a capital growth bond where for 60 months you can place the money and it earns actually 8.85%. So you would receive a total of 55,659 pounds in interest, and then your 100,000 pounds in principal back. But you can choose what works for you, and as a convenience factor, we'll give you notice that your bond is maturing, but as a convenience, we do give you the option to just automatically renew it year after year, but we give you plenty of notice, whatever you prefer. This is something where a lot of times people, they are looking for something that is a good, solid, long-term investment, and this is one that pays a very good rate of return. I have a comparison here of some different rates of return, and if we take the Andesite Blue Bond, it pays 8.85% if you choose the 60-month bond that's the compound growth. That's our highest paying one. Whereas if you look at the S&P 500 index, and I'm sure many of you have your investments already in the S&P 500 index, it's quite popular. It has averaged only 5.4%. And if you were to look at US bonds, the average is even lower, 4.5%. Global bonds overall, 5%. So emerging market bonds have a far higher rate of return. And that is one of the nice things about investing with Andesite Blue. When you purchase one of our bonds, you are investing into a number of worthwhile projects that are in the healthcare industry, that are in agriculture, the reconstruction of Ukraine. And you also benefit because you are not paying any fees. Some of you, I'm sure, have spoken with the hedge fund and the private equity guys, and they love to tell you about their fees. They like to tell you about the carried interest provision. They like to tell you about the 2 and 20 fees. And I'm not giving those guys a hard time. I'm friends with many of those guys, but this is something where if you don't want to pay those fees, when you purchase an Andesite Blue Bond, you are not paying those fees. We have a very simple business where we invest into projects that earn significantly more than the 8.85%. So it's quite easy for us to deliver. I want to introduce the founders. My name is Benjamin Z. Miller. I'm one of the founders. Mike Wilson is the other founder. Both of us are Americans. And we actually met in Kiev years ago. We were at the gym, and a businesswoman, she introduced us. She said, "Hey, there's another American." We got to talking, and we both had a passion and a love for Ukraine. We both had been living in Ukraine for years, and we were already thinking about investments in Ukraine. I had been investing personally for a few years in real estate in Ukraine. And we made the decision that there was such opportunity that we wanted to do projects that were on a bigger scale, that were really worthwhile projects that would help the country, that would help the people, and that would also be profitable. So we formed Andesite Blue, and we actually put together a top-notch team. All of the information on our team is available on our website. And I encourage you to take the time to look at each of the team members that we have. We've got an international team. Our chairman of the board of directors, his name is Nigel Brigden. He's a non-executive chairman, and he brings a lot of experience in the banking area. He's got 40 years of experience. We have Steve Dyball. He's the senior operations management. He's worked in over 20 emerging markets. We've got a great team that is here, and we have a truly international team. We have from Ukraine, Vasil Milnik. I want to draw your attention to Vasil Milnik. He's actually in the government of Ukraine. He was a director in the Ministry of Finance, so he brings a lot of experience in that area. We also have Dr. Mark Hong. He's in the healthcare area with Andesite Blue. He helps us with healthcare, and he's our chief medical officer. We have Andrew Richings, who is a corporate consultant. He's with Thomas Kelly Holdings. Thomas Kelly Holdings is a UK firm that works with ultra high net worth investors, and advises on things like fixed income and private equity. So really great team that we've put together, and you benefit from all of that experience. In terms of taking the next step, I want to encourage you to reach out to us. Please reach out to us, folks. Send us an email, contact us, or after this webinar, let us know if you're interested. We'll write down your information, and then we can schedule a one-on-one call to discuss your particular situation. But this is something where you can place money long-term. You can earn a significant passive income that pays hundreds of basis points and hundreds of pounds more than you might earn on UK gilts or other government bonds. And another advantage is if you're an institutional investor and you are looking to do a large placement, we can support that. We have projects that have all different ranges of funding, and we can work very closely with you. I want to thank all of you for coming to the webinar today. We have these every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. UK London time, and you're always welcome to come back. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then I will open it up to any questions. So thank you again, and it was a pleasure presenting to you all.